I'm Chris Duke, and today on Motors we're going to talk about killer headlamp replacement bulbs for your ride, including how to install them and properly aim them. There are three different kinds of headlamp replacement bulbs for your vehicle. There's the stock original equipment ones, like those on our F-150 here, which are generally acceptable, and then there's the opposite end of the spectrum, which are super bright HIDs. Now, aftermarket HIDs aren't exactly plug and play. They can be kind of expensive, not to mention illegal. Now, there is a way to upgrade your stock headlamp bulbs, dramatically increase visibility, and installing them is no different than swapping out a stock bulb. Plus, there's no need to run any extra wiring or even a relay because they use the same wattage as your stocks. Now, I'm talking about Hella's high-performance Xenon blue halogen bulbs. And when we come back from our break, I'm going to show you the difference between their bulbs. I'm going to show you how easy it is to install them, aim them, and a whole lot more. Welcome back to Motors. As you can see here, Hella hooked us up with a whole lot of glass so that we can show you what they offer when it comes to upgrade bulbs for your vehicle. All right, here we have their high-performance Xenon blue halogen bulbs, as well as their high-performance Xenon yellow halogen bulbs. So what's the difference between these two guys? Well, it's really up to you which look you want to go for. The blue bulbs are going to give you that Xenon look that most modern cars have, while the yellow bulbs are going to give you that GT racing look. Now, either way, they both increase safety due to the brighter bulbs, and they're both SAE and DOT approved for use in any vehicle. Now, that being said, even though they are approved for street use, some cities may have local laws that override this. So be sure to check with your local laws before performing any type of headlamp upgrade, just to be on the safe side. Now, if you'd like to check out a complete listing of all the upgrade bulbs and their specs, go to their website at myhellalights.com, where you can also find a list of retailers. But Hella doesn't just have bulb upgrades for headlamps only. They also offer a complete range of bulbs such as H1, H3, H13, and more for driving and fog lamps too. They work not only for factory lamps, but also for universal aftermarket lamps. All right, enough talk. We've got some bulbs and we've got a truck. Let's hook it up. As you may recall, last season in episode 22, we upgraded our 2005 Ford F-150 pickup truck with awesome LED taillights, as well as these bitchin' looking headlamp replacements from Hella. The stock bulbs are still in there, so let's upgrade one of them with Hella's H13 Xenon blue bulbs, and then I'll show you the difference in the amount of light between the stock bulb and the Hella bulb. But first, let's talk about the proper handling of bulbs. That's extremely important that you don't get any oils from your hands or anything else on the bulb surface. If you do, it's going to create hot spots on the bulb, which is going to decrease its lifespan. Now, if you do happen to accidentally touch the bulb or get some other gunk on it, just grab some rubbing alcohol and wipe it off. Just be sure to allow the bulb to dry completely before installing it. So, always wear gloves or use a clean rag or paper towel whenever possible to avoid damaging the bulb. Now let's go ahead and upgrade the driver's side. We're going to leave the passenger side stock for now so I can show you the differences in a bit. Removing this headlamp lens on our F-150 is really easy. Just take a Phillips screwdriver and remove this plunger clip that's right on top of this splash guard. And then take a 10mm socket with an extension, remove the bolt that's on top, and behind the splash guard there's going to be two more, one right about there, one right about here. You want to get rid of those two. Once you've got the 10mm bolts out, you can remove the headlamp. There's actually a little bit of a plastic clip that's on top here that you have to pull up. But before you remove this, you want to make sure you don't scratch your paint. So I recommend either stuffing some rags down in there or just taking some blue tape and kind of protecting your paint a little bit, just like that. Maybe put a couple on there. You definitely don't want to scratch your paint when you're doing this. There, that ought to do it. Just carefully wiggle it on out. Then disconnect the wiring harnesses and the bulb. To remove the stock bulb, you just give it a twist from the back of the lens housing and it'll come right out. And as you can see, it looks about the same size as the stock one. The Hella one is noticeably bluer. Now, it's important to mention again, this is a direct replacement, so there's no need to do any extra wiring or run relays or anything. Just take the new bulb, push it into the back, and give it a twist. Now we've got the H13 bulb in there from Hella. We can just reinstall it back into the vehicle. Now it's really that easy. Now let's take this truck someplace dark so we can compare the Hella bulb with the OEM one. Now anytime you replace a headlamp bulb or the lens, you should check your headlights to make sure they're still aligned properly. It's actually really easy to do, and there's a lot of different ways to aim your headlights, but I'm going to show you the quickest and easiest way that I know how. Now all you need is a tape measure and some masking tape. I recommend the blue stuff because it's a lot easier to see. A screwdriver will do the job for many vehicles, but for our F-150 we just have this single post back here for alignment. We're just going to use a pair of pliers to twist that. Now find a vertical white wall and a level surface. You can use your garage door if your driveway is level. Place your vehicle as close as possible to the wall, about 6 inches will do. Then turn on your low beams and mark the horizontal center lines with your masking tape. Then mark the vertical center lines with tape. This is used to check your side-to-side alignment. It may help to have a buddy stand behind the vehicle looking through the back window to assist in the placement of the tape. You want this to be dead on. Now using your tape measure and masking tape, mark a spot on the ground exactly 25 feet away from the wall, then pull the vehicle straight back from the wall by that amount. Using the headlamp's adjustment screws for horizontal and vertical alignment, again on our F-150 we just have a single post. Position the most intense part of the light 2 inches below the horizontal line and 2 inches to the right of the vertical lines. It's always best to aim lower and to the right so you don't offend oncoming traffic. Since this truck has a single headlamp lens for both low and high beams, once they're aimed, you're done. However, if you have a separate lens for high beams, you're going to need to repeat this process for the second set of lenses. By the way, it's also a good idea to check them yearly as they can become naturally misaligned. Now we wanted to show you the difference between the brightness of the factory Ford bulb, which is on the passenger side, and the Hella bulb, which is on the driver's side. Now I had Jason, my camera guy, tweak the aperture on the camera slowly to show you the difference. It's a little bit hard to pick up on the camera, but I can tell you in person, there's quite a difference. We need to go to a break, but when we come back, we'll show you how much effort goes into the creation of something that's been around since 1879. All Hella light bulbs undergo painstaking tests by their engineers before they reach the stores where you ultimately buy them. It's a ton of work, but it pays off when you need them most. They use state-of-the-art equipment to prove the high reliability of bulbs over a long period of time during their service life test. And vibration and shock equipment test the bulbs to ensure that the filaments and other components hold up to the vibrations while driving. Another test is used to check the filament geometry to ensure that they hold up to specific industry standards. For example, the filament has to have the size and position within a specific bulb. This results in the best light possible while at the same time preventing oncoming drivers from being blinded. To guarantee optimum light output of Hella's bulbs, this crazy looking thing called an Ulbrich sphere and goniometer are used. And finally, a paint adhesion test is performed. A climate chamber tests the adhesion of paint on colored glass bulbs at different temperatures and air humidities. These and further tests are performed by Hella's quality assurance engineers to ensure that all Hella bulbs live up to the brand name so many of us rely on. Welcome back to Motors. Abrasion from road debris and yellowing due to the sun's UV rays can deteriorate the plastic and will significantly affect the light output. Now, upgrading and aligning your headlights isn't difficult at all and is something you can easily do on your own within a few hours on the weekend. Now, for more information on Hella's products, go to myhellalights.com. And of course, for more episodes of Motors, head on over to motors.tv. We'll catch you next time.